Welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Here on my channel, I do planner and planner-related videos, DIY tutorials, art and journal videos, and the occasional new release video of items that I've listed to my Etsy shop. And if that is of interest to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you hit that little notification bell, you'll always be notified of when I load a new video. Commenting, liking, and sharing does help my channel grow and would be truly appreciated. All right, so we're going to set up the first week of July in my work planner that I do made of Happy Planner products predominantly. And I wanted to point something out before I got started. When I set this one up, and I will link that video below, I did the staples where I stapled down in the center and then bent the tines on the outside. Now, if you are going to put this in a traveler's notebook, that's why I do it in this style, because this is where your elastics will rest, and that way the tines aren't rubbing up against the elastic and potentially fraying the elastic. And that's why I got into the habit of doing it from the center out. But I don't keep this in a traveler's notebook. I actually keep this in a little pouch I made. Let me show you. This was just a like letter size pouch that I cut down, and then I just slide this in because when I take this to work, this is just way more portable to me and it's less bulky. And so for this month, what I've done is I did the tines on the inside. Again, from a functionality standpoint, it doesn't matter, but depending on where you're going to put this, I find that if the tines are poking up like that and you are resting it in a traveler's notebook with elastic, this can definitely fray against that. In the system I'm using, it's not going to be a problem. So I wanted to point that out while I was thinking about it. Now, like I said, I will link the video below on how I put this one together, and this one was a very similar process. The only difference between the two is this I used a Happy Planner divider and then covered up the inside. This one I just used some thicker cardstock paper that I had on stock, and then this is just the inside of that. Let me bend this out. Now, the paper in here is all Happy Planner paper. In fact, it's the same paper that I used last time, and these were the other papers that I had cut. This one is slightly bigger because there's more of this showing, and this book is slightly bigger because I didn't cut as much off the end, but as you saw in just a little bit ago, it does fit in that pouch, and that's really all that's important. Now, just for time's sake, I did set up both the cover sheet, I guess you could call this, as well as the monthly calendar. And I had made a mistake on this. And you can kind of see that now, where I actually did the layout before I bound it in the book. And the reason that's important is I did the layout, and this is one full sheet. Now, the way I should have done it was bound it together and have this the back of this sheet, but it's not. So I had to glue these sheets together in order to get my monthly layouts or my weekly layouts to work properly. So I thought I was being clever by just having it out without any of the binding, and here you can see that's not a really good idea, but it's still working. I still know that this is the first, and this is the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. It still works for me. And so I set that up just for brevity's sake. I did use a combination of this washi here, which is the same company as this one here. This one seems to lean more towards sort of botanically, although it's browns and greens, and I'm really loving that. And I think it goes well with this one right here, which it should. It's both the same company. They actually have a few of these other boxes. And I might get some more because I really love how this looks, but I'm running out of space. So yeah, I had to think about that. So I've got this set up, and it's currently Saturday the 27th. And so I'm setting up for the following week, and I'm actually going to put the last days of June in here, just because for tracking purposes, this week is going to include the last days of June and the first few days of July. Now, if you saw my After the Pen video, I did mention that I wanted to make this more of a bullet journal style. If you're not familiar with a bullet journal, typically it's in a book-bound system, usually not one you've made yourself, but it can be. But it's more free-form than a pre-planned planner like Happy Planner does, or Erin Condren, where everything's set up for you and then you just add the decorative aspect. With a bullet journal, it's definitely, I feel, geared towards list makers, and it helps you keep track of different things, whether it's on the same week or within a consecutive number of pages for the month. I mean, that's really up to you, and that's really the beauty of a bullet journal style, but it's also the downfall of a bullet journal style, because you tend to be doing a lot of your own work, right? Because you don't have the planner set up for you that you're just adding to. You actually have to make your planner. But what I wanted to do that was different from last month, which is the first month that I've done this, is I wanted to separate some tasks. And really what the purpose of this little planner is for the month of July. My office is continuing to do a hybrid schedule, at least some of us. Some of us are at the office full time already by choice. And because I am doing a hybrid schedule, I do need to be able to keep track of the tasks that I'm completing throughout the week, as well as projecting the tasks I need to complete for the following week. And so what I have been doing is just on a daily basis doing everything that I have completed. For this week, at least I want to test it, I want to do that a little differently. And so I will be using washi, and I've kind of measured out because I only need this for 5 days. And while I could take out a ruler, I am not going to. And to sort of make it look intentionally messy, I'm going to do a double line. And then I'm going to do a line this way. And I had some registration dots and I covered it up with the second line. Okay, and absolutely no space. So what I want this to be is Monday through Friday. And so that's Monday 6/29, Tuesday 6/30, Wednesday, July 1, Thursday, July 2, and Friday, July 3. Here in the US, this is a holiday for many people. It's actually when July 4th is observed on a federal holiday level, but actually people will be partying Saturday, July 4th here in the US. And so what I want to track on this, and the only thing I really need to track on a daily basis, because I always start and stop the same time, is I want to track if I'm in the office or if I'm working from home, as well as when our Zoom meeting is. So I know for Monday at least, Actually, for this entire week, I am working from home. Generally, I work in the office Mondays and Fridays, but as I mentioned in the last video, I'm having some issues with my leg, and so my boss let me just work from home so I can elevate it during my lunch break. So I'm working from home the entire week, and then I know for Monday we have our Zoom meeting at 2 p.m. My boss is in tons of meetings, and so we work around her schedule. So that's already set up, and I can see the days of the week that's involved, and I can have this be completely functional, and I love that. Okay, now on this side, what I want to do is I want to use some washi. And this little brown checkerboard one is probably one of my most favorite washi. I don't know why. And I have tons and tons of beautiful washi, but this is one of my favorites. And so I'll put that there, and I'll put a little floral one on top of it. And those two washi tapes you're going to see a lot of this month because as of right now, I plan to use only that and then the stickers that I had in this one. In fact, I should take those out. They're not exactly the same style, but these make me happy, and so I'm going to use them. And then what this is going to be is just a very large box. And the reason that I want to do this is I was thinking about this when I was doing my work plan. I don't track on a daily basis in my work plan what I have done. I basically just do completed tasks. And so for this week, this is really going to be my completed task list. And that way, I mean, my work plan is pretty easy to put together anyway. I just look at each day and just type it in. But I thought maybe this will just help organize my thoughts. Plus I'm doing some very big, lengthy projects that have different components. And so from a day-to-day basis, I might not have that much to write in because everything I'm doing is printing this screen or printing that screen or working on this or that. And I thought this might be more helpful for this particular week and probably the next week, and then we'll go from there. So that'll be my completed tasks list, and I'll just list that down Monday through Thursday. Thursday morning, I do have a doctor's appointment as a follow-up from last week's appointment, so we'll see how that goes. And then down here, I will do a to-do list for the following week. Now next week, it's actually kind of a big week for us, and I say us as a department because as of Wednesday, we are opening up the campus back up to students because right now everything is online. So if you need to contact anyone, you need to do it virtually. But July 1st is when we're actually opening it up to students, and next week, Monday, is the first time I'm going to be on campus that is open up to students since we closed it down in March. And because we are gearing up towards fall, we're not sure what to anticipate by way of foot traffic. Quite a few students are just very comfortable doing everything virtually, online, scanning things like that. But we also have a segment of students who just hate all of that. They want the in-person service. And so, yeah, we're all a little nervous of what that's going to do because we are practicing social distancing. Masks are required. Plexiglass is backwatered. It's really hard when you live on an island because once you run out of materials, you have to wait for the materials to come from the mainland, and I think that's the status that we're in right now. And so they've developed some workarounds for now that aren't the best, but for our counter personnel, at least it gives them a little bit of a barrier between the public and their workstations, because we do want to keep both our students and employees safe. And I'm just doing this just because I like the look of it. Absolutely not necessary. Okay, and this is next week. And that I will fill in probably late Thursday afternoon of things I need to either bring in or to work on or things. Next week, the 8th of July, which I believe is Wednesday, I've got a major deadline. That's the deadline for a major project that I'm working on. And so it's going to be interesting. Actually, I want to stack this up as well. There's one with writing, which just has random words on it, so we're going to put some of that on, maybe. On the stage. Kind of like that. Okay, so that's the completed task. That's next week. That gives me what I'm doing by way of working from home, and I'll fill in the Zoom meetings as it's done. And then here, what else do I track? Completed tasks, and then it would be these trackers here. So let's do the opposite on this. So we'll do that one there. And oh, my butterflies are upside down. Okay, so we'll do that one right there. And then it was these two up here. So that, oh, what's me and putting butterflies upside down? I think I did that on this one as well, but it's covered up. And then more of the world, or more of the words. What does that say? Who with his fear is put aside beside his part. Let's just put beside his part. It means nothing. It's just, I don't want who with his fear. I'm gonna throw that away. I'm fearful enough as it is. I don't need my planner to make me think about that. And so I will do boxes on this side. And then on this side. And if you are making one of these, you certainly can use a ruler. I tend not to, just because I like the look of it. Plus, even with rulers, I tend to make crooked lines. So, and this will be daily meals. And again, this section, and even this section, is completely unnecessary. But since I've been working from home, I like tracking it. I don't know why, it makes me happy. And then this here, it will be going outside and hydration. And I've got these little tag stickers. And I wonder if 5 will, well no, I only need 4. I wonder if 4 will fit. You might have noticed, but I'm not really great with washi. Yeah, I think I can get 4 to fit. Because it's only Monday through Thursday that I'm working next week. don't even know if that's in frame. Okay, not the greatest lineup, but it'll do. And then for this one, I just need 2. And okay, so this is Monday the 29th. Oh, no. All right, guys, so I went radio silent just because you didn't need to see me filling all of that in. But what I'll do on a daily basis is go ahead and just fill these things out. For some of you, this may seem quite chaotic because you're used to looking Monday, all of the things for Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, whether it's horizontal, vertical, dashboard, whatever. For me, because I'm a list maker and because of what I actually need this for, all of this is actually unnecessary, but it helps me make a structured day during these really uncertain, unstructured times. And so it's just part of my process on a weekly basis for making working from home feel like a thing rather than me just getting up, brushing my teeth, putting on some work clothes by way of a bra, and then going to work. This helps me feel like, okay, this is for work. This is what I do for work, even though it's not something I ever did for work before. This will help me with the work plan, which is the only functional thing I really need. And then this will just give me, one, what the days of the week are, because otherwise there's nothing in here other than this here of what the days of the week are, as well as it'll just give me a really quick place to look on where I am during the week, because I mean, I know where I am during the upcoming week, but if I want to refer back on where I was, that's just a really quick section for me to do that. Now, I don't know if I will go ahead and do this again for the following week. We'll just see how this week goes. But that's the beauty, and I think some of why people buy so many different planners, especially in the Happy Planner world, is because you might like the cover of one, but you like the layout of another. Or you really love the layout, but then it gets boring after a while. And by doing a bullet journal, even though it is a little bit more time consuming, you can, or doing a bullet journal style, you can customize it to whatever style, whatever color. This week was rather neutral. In fact, the entire month will probably be rather neutral just because I'm really living for that these days. And I can make this look the way I want. Every week I can make it look a little different by way of layout, and I can see what works and what doesn't and tweak. Now, I know for some people in the bullet journal world, they have found their styles, the layouts that they want, and they do the entire month in advance. For me, I do it week to week because while this sounds good in theory, until I actually put it in practice, I'm not really sure if it'll actually work out or not. I love the visual though. I love how this looks just empty. I'm sure I'll love it when I put some pen to paper because I do like what that looks like. And even though these stickers don't match, and I probably have some stickers that do, these little emoji type of stickers, they're Korean stickers. These cat and pig ones I got from, well, I didn't get from, my friend Andy on It's a Reading thing. She had used these and she had put a link in her description box, and so I used her link to get these. And then these little girl stickers I had on record, so I like using them. Even though they don't fit, it doesn't matter. I'm not so tied into it that I can't use my cute things just because they're not neutral. I will put these in the back here. And that is my setup for the upcoming week. I'd love to know what you guys think of just the neutral, because I'm loving it. I'm loving the browns and the deep reds and the blues. And again, these washi will be featured heavily in the next month. I will fill in this on a weekly basis. So after I'm done with this filming, I'll actually fill in this next week since I do know. And then every week I will come in and fill it in like I did with this one. Because right now we are able to say the days that we're going to be in the office, but because we are opening, or fall starts in August, I'm thinking eventually management and admin will say, nope, all of you guys are back in the office full time, 5 days a week. And so I don't want to write anything in here that actually isn't true. Bucky is my coworker here at the work from home station, and he would also love to know what you guys think of this setup. That's it for me for now, or that's it for us for now. And as always, aloha.